Hello dear students, I am Dr. Sanjay Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasar Samajas, Charity Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College Nasi. Dear student, in this our M.Sc. Part 4 Geography Semester 1st and our subject code is GGUT-113 and the title of our subject is Principle of Economic Geography. And in this subject today we are going to discuss our first chapter, that is Introduction to Economic Geography. And for today's lecture we have a subtopic, that is Definition and Nature of Economic Geography. Dear student, in our previous lecture we discussed our syllabus in briefly. Today we will start with our first chapter, that is Introduction to Economic Geography, and we will cover definition and the nature of economic geography in today's lecture. Dear student, before starting our economic geography, let's understand the meaning of geography first. You know that geography, this word is English word and it is a combination of two words. Geo means the earth, whereas the graphy means to describe. And the combined meaning of geo and the graphy is, it is the description of the earth. It means in this subject, the main theme is the description about the earth. If you see the detailed definition of geography, geography is the science that deal with the description of the earth's surface. It means what? Geography is a science subject. Like other branches of the science, geography is also one important branch of science. And especially in this subject, we describe the description of the earth surface. It is a scientific description about the earth. Means like other science, we also do the scientific study of the earth's surface. That is the main theme of our subject. And another definition of geography is, it's a science that deal with description, distribution, and the interaction of the physical and the cultural feature of the earth's surface. Dear student, if we see this definition, in this definition, three things are very important. First is, it's a description of the earth. Second is distribution. And third one is the interaction, the correlationship between physical feature and the cultural feature of the surface. The physical feature, it may be like a landscape, physiography, the climate, then soil, then water bodies, forest, animals, and so many things. And whereas the cultural feature, it includes that the feature that are made by human being with help of the physical feature. It may be economic activity like agriculture, like industry, like mining, like a trade, transport, commerce, and so many things. And the main theme of this our subject is the interaction. It is a correlation, description of interaction or the correlation between physical and the cultural feature of the surface. You know that student, each and every cultural activity of human being is totally affected by the various physical features. Therefore, this is the main theme of our subject. In detail, in other words, the geography is the study of places and the interrelationship between people and their environment. This is the very important. You know that student, each and every environment have a specific physiography, the specific climate and other geographical condition. And according to the condition, we observe the various human activity in that particular region. For example, in mountain region, we have different type of economic activity, whereas in the coastal and plain region, we have different economic activity. In other words, you can say in the, especially I am talking about the equatorial region. In equatorial region, we have a different economic activity due to their local geographical condition. Whereas in desert or in the tundra region, we have totally different economic activity due to the whatever the geographical condition that are available in that particular region. It means what? In this subject, we specially describe the interrelation between human being and the physical factor that are present around that human being or on that particular region. That is main part of our subject. Geography is divided into the main two parts called as physical geography and the human geography. You know that student, the geography is a very vast subject. For our convenience and the detailed study, it is divided into two branches. The first is physical geography, whereas second is human geography. And the physical geography is also divided into the various branches like geomorphology, climatology, meteorology, hydrology, oceanography, social geography, biogeography, environment geography, and other geography. The numbers of sub branches of physical geography, whereas economic geography is mainly divided into the two major sub branches, that is economic geography and second is social geography. Economic geography is also divided into the various sub branches such as agriculture geography, industrial geography, trade geography, transport geography, tourism geography, commercial geography, and other branches of human geography. It may be related to the marketing geography or maybe the specific branch that are related to the single economic activity of the human being. Whereas social geography is also divided into the various sub branches. The important branch of social geography is population geography. Then we have the rural geography, urban geography, political geography, cultural geography, settlement geography, and other various branches. But today we are going to discuss mainly about the economic geography. Keep in your mind that economic geography is a sub branch of human geography, whereas human geography is the second important sub branch of geography. So therefore, this hierarchy you should keep in your mind, because in your introduction part, this is a very important, that economic geography is the sub branch of human geography. So let us discuss firstly the some introduction of economic geography. The economic geography is, I just mentioned that it is a subfield, sub branch of human geography which studies the economic activities of the man. Human activity, it may be the primary activity, secondary activity, tertiary activity, quaternary activity, quinary activity, and various activity that are specially discussed in this subject. And economic geography is a very broad discipline. If you compare with other branches of the geography, I am talking about especially the sub branches of the human geography. In this, as compared to other branches of the human geography, the economic geography is a very vast and broad discipline, or you can say subject. The different authorities have defined economic geography in various ways. The economic geography is a prime branch of the human geography. It studies the all human activity and the distribution of the earth. This is the very important thing about the economic geography. It's a prime branch of the human geography. Dear student, the human geography is a branch of geography. It is study how people and the environment have an effect on each other. This is very important, because both things, means people and the environment, both are effect on each and other. It may be, it is a, you can call it the reciprocal relationship between people. I mean, here I am talking of the people means economic activity of the human being, and environment means geographical condition, the physical feature about that particular region. This is a very important thing. So later discuss about some important definition of the economic geography. The first very important definition of economic geography is given by Professor E.W. Zimmerman. According to this scholar, economic geography deal with economic life of man with relationship to environment. This is the very important. According to the definition, two things are very important. That in economy, what we study, we specially study about the economic life of the man. Economic life of the man means what? The various economic activities of the human being that included in this word, under this word, economic life of the man, and other relationship to the environment. Environment means what? Here we are talking about especially the physical environment, the geographical environment, geographical condition of that particular region. And you know that according to geographical condition, physical condition, we observe the different type of the economic activity in that particular region. So in this definition, the main focus is given on economic life of man and relationship of that economic life of the man, the economic activity of the man with relation to the environment, the physical environment. This is the first definition. Let us discuss the second definition. G.D. Gilshon. This is also very important economist, economic geographer. According to this, economic geography is the intellectual interest to the study of geographical facts in relation to economic and commerce. So in this, the commerce and economy means it is also, these both terms are related to directly or indirectly with the human economic activity. And other word, we have same thing like a first definition. Here also we have geographical facts. Geographical facts means what? Geographical factor, that physical condition of that particular region, the physical factor of that relation. And you know that again in this definition, the main emphasis or the trace is given, or you can say the main keywords of this definition is physical geographical facts and relation to the economy and commerce. Meaning near about like a first definition. Here also same thing is there. In economic geography, what we are study? We study the economy and the commerce, and both are affected by how they are affected with the geographical condition of that particular region. That are the main part of this definition. Let us discuss the third definition, that this definition is also very important. The viewpoints given this definition, economic geography is concerned with the distribution of man's productive activity over the surface of the earth. See, students, in this definition, one important keywords is distribution of man's productive activity. Means what? Here also the same thing is there. Various economic activity of the human being and their distribution, how they are observed various part on the earth surface. So that when we do the study about this, the distribution of economic activity of human being, again it may be primary, secondary, or tertiary. You know that on the earth surface you will find the economic activity are not same in everywhere. They are observed as per the local environment, what type the local environment is available there. If you are talking about especially I am talking about the underdeveloped country. In underdeveloped country, you will observe mostly the primary activities are dominated or developed in a large scale. It may be like agriculture, fishery, or maybe the mining, or maybe the other things. Whereas, especially I am talking about the advanced country, the developed country. In the developed country, as compared to primary activity, we will observe secondary and tertiary, or the quaternary and the quaternary activity are more developed as compared to developing country and the underdeveloped country. So it means what? Everywhere I'm talking about the underdeveloped country, developing country, or developed country or advanced country, everywhere you will find the economic activity of the human being are not evenly distributed. They are uneven as per the geographical location and their the cultural factor. These activities are totally different on the surface. And the study of this, the distribution of the human economic activity, are main theme are discussed in this definition as per the viewpoints. Then we have the another definition, very important definition is given by E.B. Shaw. E.B. Shaw explained another very simple definition. Economic geography is concerned with the distribution of man's productive activity over the earth surface. Like a previous definition, this definition is also mostly equal. And here also, according to Shaw, is that the main theme of the economic geography is what? Distribution of the man's productive activity over the surface of the earth. Near about the like of previous definition, this definition also have a same meaning. By considering all the definition given by various scholars, various economic geographer, we can conclude the definition of economic geography in one definition. That is, economic geography deal with economic activity, their distribution, and the relationship with the geographical personality of the region. See, in this definition, three things are very important. And this is the summary of all definition that we have discussed just. Economic geography deal with the economic activity. Here, this word is indicates the various economic activity of the human being. Again, it may be primary, it may be secondary, it may be tertiary, or it may be the quaternary or quinary, what type of the economic activity. Then second thing is their distribution. Means how this economic activity of the human being are distributed on the surface. I just mentioned that, especially I'm talking about the country underdeveloped or developing here, the agriculture is dominated, whereas in developed country, or it may be in some part of the developing country, the tertiary and secondary activity are more developed, or we observe this activity are more in the developed and the in the developing country. Means this type of the distribution means which activity is where is dominated on the earth surface, in which region we observe which main economic activity. That is second thing. And third thing is what? Relationship between geographical personality of that region and the economic activity of the human being. And yes, it is a true that if you see the economic activities pattern of the on the surface that are present, you will one thing you will observe that if the geographical condition is favorable for the agriculture, then definitely agriculture activity will be developing the research. Whereas I'm talking about the developing country, or I'm talking about the developed country. In developed country, you will observe that secondary, tertiary, quaternary, and quaternary activity are more developed. Why? Because their region is more suitable for that particular activity. It means what? It is a true that according to geographical personality, according to geographical factor, you will observe that what type of the economic activity is going to develop in that region. If yes, if that condition is the geographical condition is favorable for the agriculture, then agriculture will be developed in that region. If it is suitable for the mining activity, then definitely mining activity will going to flourish. If it is suitable for the tourism activity, the nature and the beauty of that region is nice, very good, like a Uti, like a Simla, like a Darjeeling, like a Mahabaleshwar, then definitely tertiary activity, I'm talking about the tourism, will be going to develop in that region. It means what? The whole, that nature of that activity, development of the economic activity of the human being is totally depend on the what type of the geographical condition is present in that particular region. So in this definition, everything is included what we are expect in the economic geography. Dear student, now let us discuss about the nature of economic geography. Economic geography is not a static subject. It's a dynamic branch of human geography, and the nature of this subject is always changed. Let us discuss the nature of human economic geography with help of the keywords. The main keywords is descriptive nature. Yes, the economic geography is a descriptive subject. It's a descriptive science. So if you see during the early period of economic geography, it was descriptive in the nature, and the aim at the description of the economic landscape of the particular region. It means what? If you see that books that was the books of economic geography which was published in early period, that type in this book you will find that in the subject content of that subject is there is a simple description of the human activity, like a primary activity like agriculture, fishing, or maybe the mining. That only the description of this activity was described with help of the word only. There was not too much scientific touch. That was not too much scientific description about the any economic activity of the human being. Means it was so simple. Whatever the content, whatever the information was given in that book, it was totally descriptive in nature. Means there was no any graphs, no any maps, no any scientific information or hypothesis or model or theory that were present in our subject. So therefore, the nature of our subject during the early period was totally descriptive in the nature. Now after that, the nature of the human geography become a dynamic. Means what? I just mentioned that it is a not a static subject. As per the it is continuously changed time to time. Therefore, the nature of economic geography is always changing. For example, if we are talking about the economic structure, economic structure has been vast changed. If you see, I'm talking about the economic activity of the human being. Yes, now in previous days, you will see that the before 100 years, the secondary and tertiary activity was not too much developed. But nowadays, it is changing very fastly. The nature of this economic activity is totally changed time to time. Every day, the nature of economic geography is changing. So therefore, the information about the changing structure of the economic activity is a main part of our subject. Therefore, when the structure of economic activity change, then definitely in this subject, the information that we are going to include, we are going to study, is also changed as per our changes that we observe in our economic activity of the human being. For example, if we see in case of India, if we see the contribution of the agriculture in our Indian economy, what was that was in the before the independence, the contribution of agriculture in our national income or in our Indian economy, that was too much. But now you will see that simultaneously the contribution of the agriculture in our national income, in our economy, is declining every year. And in other words, in other hand, you will see that the contribution of the secondary, tertiary activities increase, which was the very less during the Independence Day, but now it is the slightly increase. It means what? In one hand, you will see that the contribution of agriculture is decline, whereas the contribution of the other, I mean talking about the second and tertiary activity, is increase. Therefore, the nature of economic activity, the pattern of economic activity, what was the available before the Independence Day in India, and today, it is totally different. So, the study of this changing nature of the economic activity of the human being in India, when we study in this subject, then definitely the nature of the subject is also changing. So, therefore, the one thing I would like to say that the updated information of various economic activity that are continuously updated in this subject, and therefore the nature of this subject is become a dynamic, and in future also it will be keeping change, or it may be continuously going to change. Third important things about the scientific study. The nature of economic geography is scientific because many scholars have explained their theory and the models by using scientific methods. Like other subject, in this subject also, we study the various models and theory, and each and every model or theory is totally depend or described by using the various scientific method. Like other subject, they also by using the various hypotheses, they tested this hypothesis on the basis of the collected information, survey, and then one important thing is the two model that are the Van Thunen's model that was presented, that is explained in the 1826, and second was the Alfred Weber's model that was he explained in the 1909. The both model is a part of economic geography. Therefore, this is the indication, this is the ideal example of, yes, the nature of economic geography is scientific, because we do the study like other branches in this subject, a very scientific method. By using scientific method, we acquire the content about various the main topic of our subject, and that we study in this subject. Therefore, the nature of economic geography is become a scientific. Then we have the nature of this subject is interdisciplinary subject. Yes, this is very important. The nature of economic geography is interdisciplinary, because you know that student, in this subject also, when we study this subject, that time we also take help or the refer the other subject content. It may be like economic, commerce, statistics, agriculture, botany, chemistry, history, tourism, computer, environmental science, engineering, geography, and other so many the sub branches of the natural science and the social science. So we also use the content of various subjects when we explain the any topic of our subject, and therefore the nature of this subject is become interdisciplinary. For example, if we are talking about, if we study the economic landscape, it means the economic activity that are observed in that particular region. Say the economic activity that are observed in the Maharashtra. So that time this activity is the development of these activities depend on various factors also. Therefore, if I want to correlate the economic activity with the other field, say the chemistry or botany or maybe history, computer, that time when we contain the any part, we try to correlate how that part is affect on our economic activity. That time definitely I am going to touch with the other branches of the science, and therefore the nature of this subject is become interdisciplinary. Then student, the nature of this subject is very vast and broad. Yes, this is the very important subject, and whatever the content, the topic we are studying this subject, there are very too much. There are numbers of the topic we are studying this subject. Therefore, the nature of this subject has become a very vast and broad. And therefore, I'm saying I'm talking about the econ geography has become extremely varied and the versatile subject, and therefore the nature is become a very broad of this subject. And one thing I would like to say, the economic this subject is focused on all the distribution of economic activity that are observed on the earth's surface, that are present on the surface, the production, the distribution, the consumption, and the various activity related about the information about the local and the international level we study in this subject, and therefore the nature of this subject become very vast and very broad. And one thing is that is a applied nature. The nature of this subject is very applied. The study of the knowledge of this subject we use for the to solve the various problem about the regional planning and economic development. And when we do the any plan, it may be 5-year plan or the annual plan, that time we also apply the knowledge of this subject to solve the various problems related to the regional planning or maybe the economic development. Definitely, it may be any model, it may be any theory of economic geography that we use for our planning and the to make a frame of plan for various economic developments plan. So therefore, the nature of this subject become applied. And last but very important, that is the nature of this subject is a very complex subject. The nature of very complex means what? The main purpose of econ geography is analysis of human economic activity, and you know that the human activity are correlated to each other, and when we study the why specific activities is develop in that particular region, that time we do the cause analysis discussion or analysis. That time the nature, when we study about the why, how, where this economic activities develop, when we try to find the reason, that time the study of this subject is become a very complex, because when we do the analysis of correlate to two factor, and that time it become a very complex. The nature of subject is very become complex. So therefore, this is a study, this type of the study we included in our subject. Therefore, the nature of this subject is become a very complex. Dear student, I hope that you have properly understand the definition and the nature of economic geography. In our next lecture, we will studying scope of economic geography. Till that time, take care and goodbye. Thank you.